Pricing profitably in the face of competition.
Pricing is one of the most powerful ways to improve or destroy profits.
A Deloitte pricing effectiveness benchmark study found that companies that actively pursue pricing as an important part of their strategy typically outperform industry peers on several financial metrics. Companies that are pricing leaders are 26% better at managing true profitability. A McKinsey and Company analysis of S&P 1500 companies calculated that a price rise of 1% if volumes remain stable would generate an 8% increase in operating profits, an impact nearly 50% greater than that of a 1% fall in variable costs such as materials and direct labor, and more than 3 times greater than the impact of a 1% increase in volume. A McKinsey on Finance article noted that committed leadership on pricing strategy improves a company's operating profit margin by between 2% and 7%, often doubling historic profit margins. Despite pricing's crucial importance for improved profitability, companies do a poor job of it. A Bain & Company survey noted that most companies call pricing a high priority in our global survey, but 85% say they have significant room for improvement in pricing. A Harvard Business Review article reviewed pricing studies and concluded, this and many other studies indicate that pricing managers routinely set prices too low, sapping their company's profits. With so much at stake, surely companies would focus on improving pricing. Unfortunately, the Bain survey found that poor pricing practices are insidious. They damage a company's economics but can go unnoticed for years. This course is one of 3 pricing courses to help you improve the pricing practices at your company or to help your clients make better pricing decisions. Many companies feel immense pressure to reduce prices because of the prices of their competitors. This may have costs few have considered. It could devastate long-term profits. Worse yet, it could lead to a price war. I'll start by explaining the premise and assumptions of competition-driven pricing. I'll define price cannibalization and show how to calculate its cost. A company must be very careful before starting or continuing a price war. I'll explain how to prevent one. There are 3 common pricing strategies. You'll learn them and when each may be useful. Finally, we'll tackle discounting. A good discounting process will improve customer satisfaction and employee morale. Repeatedly buckling under pressure to give discounts trains customers to press harder and harder for discounts. A company may think it's utilizing value-based pricing, but discounts tactically unravel that strategy to competition-based pricing. I'll show ways to identify where discounts are bleeding profits. I also offer 2 other pricing courses. They are Pricing, Profitability Analysis, and Processes. I explain how to analyze pricing decisions to improve profitability. Cost-plus pricing is a popular pricing methodology, but I explain its weaknesses. I also cover how many parts of a company can work together to improve pricing. Pricing profitably for your product's value. Price is a function of the value provided to customers. This course focuses on customer perceptions of value and their willingness to pay for that value. You'll learn the calculation for value-based pricing. I also touch on pricing ethics. Each course looks at pricing from one of 3 perspectives. Pricing for profitability looks at internal analysis and processes. Pricing profitably for your product's value focuses on customer perceptions and actions. And this course focuses on competitive pressures. Each course starts with one of 3 pricing methodologies. Pricing for profitability focuses on cost-plus pricing. Pricing profitably for your product's value explores value-based pricing. And this course looks at competition-based pricing. A robust pricing program considers all these perspectives and methodologies. These courses focus on financial management and profitability analysis of pricing. Pricing is a major role of a company's CFO. In best-of-class pricing organizations, the CFO commits at least 20% of his or her time to the pricing effort. This compares with an average of only 10% found in an annual executive survey.
I'm Rob Stevens, founder of CFO Perspective. During my career, I've been the CFO, SVP of Finance, or Director of Operations of companies with just a few employees to companies with $3 billion in assets and hundreds of employees. I chaired the pricing committee or worked with others to set pricing at these companies.
I make courses for company employees as well as for business advisors like CPAs, coaches, and consultants. When I say you, I'm referring to business owners or staff. If you are a business advisor, you can translate you to mean your clients or the business you work for. The titles for the financial staff that analyze pricing are different for each company. I refer to the accounting, finance, or FP&A or financial planning and analysis function or department that usually do this as finance in this course for simplicity. I also use the term product to mean both products and services for simplicity. No one wants me to constantly repeat the phrase products and services. I will give examples of the course concepts using relatively small dollar amounts. I do this to make it easier to read, say, and fit on a page or screen. Please feel free to add as many zeros as needed in your head to scale the examples to an amount that's relevant to your company or situation. With those guidelines in place, let's dive into pricing for profitability. Competition driven pricing.
The premise of competition driven pricing is that prices are set by the market or your competitors. It seems so simple, obvious, and grounded in hard reality. Many people claim this is obviously the correct way to set prices. However, it was quickly dismissed by almost all the sources I researched for this course, even by authors with a very sales oriented background.
A study titled Competitor Oriented Objectives Myth of Market Share found that competitor oriented objectives reduced profitability. They also said competitor oriented objectives are harmful, especially when managers receive information about competitors' market shares. The competition driving this pricing strategy may not actually be a company's competitors' pricing. It may be the company's own competitive drive for winning deals and higher market share. It's a balance. A company can't ignore competitors, but neither should competitors drive the goals and strategies of a company. A bias towards competition based pricing can drive a company towards the latter. A competition driven pricing mindset assumes that setting prices a little above the competition will greatly reduce sales. Conversely, pricing a little under the competition will greatly increase sales. There are times when this is true. One example is pure commodity markets. These are markets where all the products are the same and prices are transparent and quickly updated. Very few products meet this definition. When I worked at an ag bank, farmers would sell their grain into commodity markets like this. On the other hand, wine grape growers have found a way to differentiate their products and sell them directly to wineries at varying prices. If you truly believe you're in a market like pure competition pricing assumes, your best hope for profits is to fire your sales and marketing staff, end all advertising, and focus on slashing production costs. Price is your only tool for driving sales. When prices drop, your only hope for survival is having the lowest production costs in the market. This is why I find it shocking when sales staff contend that pricing must be primarily competition based. Every product has the potential to be unique and offer unique value to a segment of customers. Setting prices solely based on competition completely ignores this opportunity. Some have gone so far as to say that differentiation is a major source of long term competitive advantage. Competition based pricing can be seen as an easy way to set prices when you don't want to do the work involved with cost plus pricing or value based pricing. Taking advantage of this simplicity robs a company of the insights that can be obtained from knowing a product's costs and the value it provides to customers. On the other hand, market prices might provide some sort of reality check if you highly doubt the results from cost plus pricing or value based pricing. Price taking and pure competition driven pricing is usually as dangerous as completely ignoring market prices. Even value based pricing begins with a reference price, in other words, the price of a competitor's product, and then adjusts for differentiation value. However, it doesn't stop there. The exploration and estimation of value determines your pricing strategy and tactics. Pricing below the market to drive sales is done with penetration pricing strategies to break into new markets. However, those entrants must have analysis to show that longer term pricing will provide acceptable margins. Those profits come from pricing for value, low production costs, or both. A focus on price as the only tool for gaining sales assumes that lowering prices to increase sales is usually a good thing. The leap of faith is that higher sales and market share lead to higher profits. You have no idea if this might be true unless you have calculated your costs and calculated your break even points or estimated profits. Raising prices, even at the loss of sales and market share, may be highly beneficial for profits. This is especially true for products sold to customers that have a low price response. In other words, high prices don't greatly decrease the number of units purchased by all customers. Let's assume a company is currently selling 20,000 units of a product at $30. They decide to raise prices by 10% or $3. When they did, unit sales dropped 20%, in other words, 4,000 units. If the total market was 100,000 units, they went from 20% to 16% of the market. Revenue dropped 12%. Many would point to these statistics as a total disaster. The ultimate goal is profits, not revenue or market share. To calculate marginal contribution or profit, you need to know your costs. Profits increased by $16,000. This is a 10% increase in profits, assuming no fixed costs. Competitor prices are an important starting point for pricing, but not the end or goal. A company must model its costs and customer responses to price changes to get an accurate picture of profit. Profit must also be measured over the long term. Short term price decreases of a product may lead to profitable cross sales in the present or high margin sales in the future. Here's a quick summary of the pros and cons of competition based pricing. Competition based pricing allows a company to stay in tune with the market and respond quickly to changes in competitors' pricing strategies. This flexibility can be crucial in dynamic markets. Setting prices in line with competitors can help create a perception of fairness among customers. This can be important in industries where consumers actively compare prices before making a purchase. Implementing competition based pricing is relatively straightforward. A company can gather information on competitors' prices and adjust its own pricing accordingly. This simplicity also comes at a cost, which I described earlier and is inherent in the cons I'll cover later. By aligning prices with competitors, a company can contribute to market stability, preventing price wars that could be detrimental to all businesses in the industry. And now for some cons of competition based pricing. Relying on competition based pricing may lead to inadequate consideration of a company's cost structure and profit margins. This can result in pricing that does not support the business's financial objectives. If all competitors in a market adopt a competition based pricing strategy, it can lead to a lack of price differentiation, making it difficult for any one company to stand out based on pricing alone. This pricing strategy puts the company's pricing decisions in the hands of competitors. It may hinder a company's ability to differentiate itself through innovative pricing models or to establish itself as a premium or value brand. When competition based pricing can contribute to market stability, it can also lead to price wars if companies continually undercut each other to gain a competitive advantage. This can erode profit margins for all businesses involved. Focusing solely on competitors' prices might lead to a myopic view of the market. Companies may overlook other factors such as product quality, customer service, or unique selling propositions that could be leveraged for competitive advantage.